Hello all, we're back. More Burning Wheel goodness. I now have my book with me. We can be looking up obs together. Double the fun watching us look up obs. If I was really crafty, I would have the questions, the things that we're looking up on the screen. But I can't because this book, for all of its wonder, does not exist in PDF form. and so it occurred to me, I was like, oh, I'd love to show some of these things. Maybe we could show that the greed question. I'll find it. I think that's probably available somewhere online. That would have been fun to walk through. But I was like, oh yeah, I'll show the PDF. No, I don't have PDF. And there's very good reasoning behind that. But sometimes it makes me sad not to be able to search this book.
Indeed.
Anywho, when we last left off, Pelara had been led down this secretly excavated tunnel by her son Hertho and a band of adventurers who all want to go raiding a dragon's tomb, to raiding in the vault to steal the treasure from the dragon. And I was hoping chat would have some advice for me, but I'm going to go ahead and have to play this one on my own. So just a golden mask, just a golden cast on her face of just like such wrath and anger. And then Pelara like stares at the dwarf that has a sword, and like there's like a look on her eyes of like, you get out of my face, otherwise I'm gonna break your face. Like it's just like, this is not between you and I. Like, I don't know who you are, you don't belong here, right? And she kind of like vents some of her, just like, it doesn't matter, he can ignore her. I'm not trying to intimidate him, but it's like this like look of, what did you do to my son, kind of
right
like anger. And she kind of like looks over all of them and has this like very annoyed look, and then breathes in, feels the stone. Thank God it's in chat. It's that question right above. What to do with Pelara. She sort of like puts her hand on the door and feels the runes that are carved into it and the warmth of it. She kind of like, like resists balling her hand into a fist. She has a G2 brawling, I'll have you know.
Oh my.
Because brawling is power based. So when she unlocked brawling,
Love it.
It unclenches the fist, and she looks at Hertho and say, none of us swore an oath that we wouldn't find a secret tunnel. We wouldn't find a tunnel, and we wouldn't find a tunnel of our own and find our own way into the dragon's vault, did we? None of us swore that oath, did we? Right? We didn't swear an oath we wouldn't do this, right? And she's looking for like a flight attendant looking for you to say yes, looking for everyone to like go.
Yeah. They nod like, oh my God, she's gonna go along with it, right? Like they're like,
yeah, exactly, yeah,
right,
yeah. None of us swore an oath we wouldn't do this, and then she kind of like, she's like, and do you know why? Because we're a people of principles and honor, not thieves and scoundrels who find every loophole they can to betray the ones they love. We didn't swear an oath on this because we didn't need to swear an oath on this.
Hertho rolls his eyes.
Or at least I didn't think we did. Hertho, what do you expect will happen if we open that door? Walk me through it.
We walk in, we stealth our way in, we get treasure that we can, we keep it quiet, we bury it, and we wait for this whole thing to be over. You have some treasure so you can get your beloved Bella her position in the host. So you can get my sister her position as an axe swinger. And
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So we
And
go in
the
there.
and the rest of it we can keep for our family.
Right. Make the Polar, make our family wealthy. I like that. I like that a lot. So let's keep walking through it. We sneak in. Great. But have you heard the last 2 weeks of construction? Have you heard us pounding and hammering and chipping and digging? Do you think that anything on the other side of the door hasn't heard that? Do you know why we have the host keep advancing the guard posts every time we make progress? It's because at any moment, trolls or, nay, a dragon may be around the corner. You can feel the heat on this door. You can feel the heat of that dragon's breath on this door.
I think we're in a duel of wits.
Nice.
I think we've just made our like opening arguments for a duel of wits.
Yeah. Cool. I love it. Yeah. And like it took a lot not to just yell at him. This was like,
Right.
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna walk through this. She's not trying to be patronizing.
Yeah.
The first question was patronizing. The first question was like, gotcha. It was like,
right.
Y'all are scoundrels. But this is like, let's talk it out. And all right. Polara's Duel of Wits. Oops, what am I doing? Wrong sheet. Okay. Do we have the right thing up? Yep, we do. Okay. Duel of Wits, my objective is that we are going to not only not go through this door, but we're going to tell the rest of the host about this door so that we can coordinate the best way to use this to our advantage. We're going to keep on delving. We're going to keep on delving our normal path, and we're going to fortify this, possibly collapse it. You know, we're going to share this information with the rest of the host. I'm saying host is a broader term here. I don't just mean the host life paths. I mean
Got it.
The excavation team.
Got it.
Yeah. We're gonna, and I think to maybe, well, we can blunt that with compromises as need be. So
yeah.
All right, and I think I'm using for my dueling skill. I keep on pulling up the wrong Google. I think for my dueling skill, I think I'm using Ugly Truth. I don't if that is dueling, if that's a skill that you can use for dueling, because I could use Course Persuasion, but I think it's like this is going to go badly, and that seems like Ugly Truth.
I don't think I feel like Ugly Truth can be used for a couple of different things in Duel of Wits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it can be used for like the sole thing. But keeping with our tradition of looking up Duel of Wits things on stream, I think we should absolutely.
389 dueling skills. The main battle skills are Course Persuasion, Interrogation, Oration, Persuasion, Poisonous Platitudes, blah 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 blah. Ugly Truth is used as a support role. Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
All right, you cannot fork into. Otherwise I would be forking my Ugly Truth into my body of argument, but you can't fork. You just roll your base. So I'm gonna roll my Course Persuasion. That's gonna be my dueling skill.
Sounds good. And I think, I think Hirtho learned Course Persuasion from you.
Yeah.
You probably argue with him more than anybody.
Mm-hmm. Probably pretty good at it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I rolled 1. My will is 6, so I have a BOA. I have a disposition of 7.
I think he's got.
Haha.
Yeah, I don't think
he rolled worse.
Yeah, I think he's got a will of 5, and he did not roll shit, so his body of argument is 5.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, and I think I mean, it's clear that this is a duel of wits about getting into you know sneaking into the dragon's lair on your own rather than
Yeah.
uh you know
Yeah.
revealing this.
He's saying we go in on our own. I say we share this information with the the excavation team.
Yeah,
Yeah, we go.
cool. Should
Right.
we?
Yeah, let's put it in roll 20 chat, and we'll. I'm gonna look at the dueling actions. I think
And
I
yeah, and what was your body of argument? I'm sorry.
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at actions that can take. Um,
Yeah. And I think the other thing that happens is out of the shadows, uh, as you two are about to get into it, uh, s- stepping behind him, uh, like as if like who, and his crew is kind of fanned out behind him in a semicircle, and joining that crew, standing head and shoulders above them is Fiona Cecile, who just like oozes, like just appears out of the shadows, like where the f did this fey creature come from?
okay.
And you realize, like, oh shit, this elf has been with them from the beginning.
She looks back at that. She looks back. She looks back at that first dwarf that had the sword.
Yeah,
Is Kerbika the one with the sword? I mean,
yeah,
is
oh
that
totally, yeah, yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
looks back at Kerbika with his sword, and she looks at him, and then she just gives him the like, "You're off the hook" look. Like you weren't the bad influence. It was that. It was that elf that like I'm sure whatever you were thinking, it's not nearly
Nice.
as bad as the poisonous words of Fiona Cecile. Um. So yeah, that's a little. Yeah, and they all are like, yeah, this elf is showing us the way, right? Like they're all in cahoots with this elf. They're not surprised by his presence.
Oh, no, 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 they are not surprised. They
Yeah,
are not surprised.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
My
uh
my eyes like just narrow on not narrow on
where did you want me to put the what I what
into roll 20.
roll 20? Okay. Hold on, I'm almost done. And I am scripted.
All right, we'll go in 1, 2, 3.
Boom. Like mother, like son. I scripted rebuttal, point, dismiss, and she scripted point, rebuttal, dismiss.
Yep.
Uh,
It's a
awesome.
perfect scripting, right? Like this is exactly the way,
Oh, totally,
like
totally.
exactly the way the Duel of Wits is like meant to engage, right?
And I think it shows how, like, you two are arguing about this in the same pattern and the same rhythms as you would uh, argue about chores, as you would
Mm-hmm.
argue about cleaning dishes, as you would argue about anything that you would be telling your son to do at home. Like, I think you've fallen into like an old pattern of like bup, 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 and
Right.
you usually win this.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of friends with him, and
Yeah,
an elf bolstering him. I'm not going to dismiss him, although I may dismiss him, but I'm not going to
yeah,
dismiss this challenge. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Okay. So
So
I lead it with the point
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Um, and my point is uh, my point is um, I think I've already made some points, so I'm going to just continue elaborating on some of
yeah,
those. And
yeah,
I look at Fiona Cecile, and I'm just staring. I'm just staring at him. I'm not even looking at her though. I'm looking right at Fiona, and I say, treasure, great treasures like the ones found in the vault, never stay hidden for long. There is never a there's never a wealth of this kind that's hidden away without someone finding out about it. So unless you want your chin to be as smooth as that elf's when you shave it for being called an oathbreaker, you will do right by your clan.
And he's a rebuttal, right? So he interrupts you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He says, as you pointed out, mother, breaking what oath? We swore no oath that this wouldn't happen. We're breaking nothing. All we're going to do is make them feel stupid that they didn't think of it first. And they won't think of it because it won't happen. And I think Fiona Cecile offers helping dice
Yeah,
to
of
your
course it
son.
is. Yeah.
As he says, if the shoes were on the other foot, as they say in dwarf, as they say, is that right? Shoe. If the shoe was on the other foot, I'm sorry. Would the warden be having this argument, or would he be going in without you ever knowing? And I think he's just saying like the warden would totally do this to you, like
Yeah.
like
Right.
you know, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm bristling.
Yeah.
Um, I want to. You can't use instincts inside of a duel of wits, but I have an
Yeah.
instinct. This is when Fiona Cecile enters the room, watches every move,
Yeah.
and I want to study Fiona. So this is going to be outside of the context of this duel of wits, but I'm
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to be trying to figure out everything I can about him. And this may be a test, this may not, but
Sounds
just
good.
throwing it out there so that mostly so
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So my point, I don't have to worry about divvying up dice,
Yeah.
but I think you have to declare how you're divvying them up before you know my successes. Is that
Yeah.
right?
I do. I'm putting 3 dice into attack and 2 into defense.
Cool. All right. I'm rolling coarse persuasion.
Okay.
I'm forking in ugly truth. I'm forking in family wise. I'm forking in clan wise, and I'm forking in oath wise.
Nice.
All of these things are germane
Nice.
to this.
Yes, you went hog wild on those wises. Love it.
I
Okay.
mean, they were all part of the life paths. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so gas pocket wise. That's another excavating one. It's fine. All right, clan, family, oath, ugly. Okay. Why don't you roll his 2 defense dice so I know what my ob is?
Yep. You got 1 success.
Cool. He is destroyed.
Oh my god.
Coarse persuasion with all them 6s.
But he does get his rebuttal, right?
He gets his rebuttal. Yeah, yeah. It's not instantaneous, but
Yeah.
that's the end of the argument.
Yeah.
He can still roll his. He can still. Oh dang, yeah.
Uh,
Is he rolling course persuasion as well?
yes.
All right. It's I was gonna say then that 6 automatically explodes. Okay.
Yeah, he just got 2 successes.
Yeah. All right. So my BOA goes down from 7 to 5, which is still more than half. So I think he only gets a minor concession out of me.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. 8 successes. That was just 6s going wild.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
What do you want? I mean, I can offer you something, but I have an idea of what to offer you. But
what's that?
Well, so my thing was we're going to turn around and we're going to tell everybody about this. And the offer is that like that's going to shame him. It's going to shame him when I say, yeah, my son did this. And that was meant to be. It's meant to shame him for he's basically like you're going to go confess what you did, right? And the counter could be my team could discover this tunnel in the morning, and it doesn't have to lay on him. I can cover for him. Yeah, that's a concession. Maybe that's too small though. Another one was to be we could collapse this and no one would find it.
Oh shit. No, I like the idea.
Because then it kind of lets Fiona Cecile's question get answered. Would Warden Boge do this? Like, we'll go find out. Like, I'll even offer it. I'll be like, you want to find out if my warden like this? How about you and I go tell him?
Right.
We found this in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sort of challenging him. I don't trust Warden Boge either. I think Warden Boge can do the same thing, but it's like,
yeah, I think his son, like your son, Hirtho wants to. Here's what he wants. He wants to have it said that he discovered this, like at the end of his shift, and you and he will go to Warden Boge and tell him in the morning that, like, hey, we found this, so that it's like it's seen as something clever that Hirtho did.
I think that might be asking too much.
Too much? Okay.
I mean, I don't want him rewarded for this act of deception.
Right.
And that's what he's looking for, is a reward for this act of deception.
Yeah.
So if it's okay with you, I mean, this is just between you and I as GM and player negotiating.
Yeah. No, this is Jed and Sean. Yeah.
But I feel like him getting a reward out of this rather than
it's too much.
Well, yeah, because I'm telling him you can avoid punishment, and he's saying like, no, I want a reward. And
yeah,
I think I'm going to say the elf and I are going to go toward Boge, because I know he was the one who found this, who knew about this in the first place. Whatever he might have told you, Hirtho, he was the one who knew where this tunnel was beforehand. And we're going to go see what the Wardens has to say. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, and I say, and I think I'll like maybe soften it a little bit by saying, like, you know, if he wants the host to go, I'll recommend that you are on the team. And if it's his decision, the host will enter. I'll make sure you're part of the of the team. Which is not much of a give, but it's
yeah,
it's
something.
Yeah, he can still try and pilfer something for his.
No, I mean he's been put in his place. I think that's cool.
All right, so I want to read what Fiona Cecile is getting out of this, and I don't know if Burning Wheel has like a read a person skill. I don't know if it's observation. Observation.
No, observation. Yeah,
for finding people who are stealthy. But I think
what is it? What is it that you want to know? I mean, I might just tell you.
Yeah, maybe I'm looking to a skill too fast. I'm trying to figure out what his angle here is. Whether he is, I want to see like what his anxiousness is. Is this? Can I? Yeah, maybe it's a wise Saint card. Good call. Elf wise, which I don't have, but a good idea. I want to know if he was just toying with my son and trying to put foolish notions in his head, or whether he actually has some anxiety about like he wants to get in there now. Like, is his motivation to mess with my family or mess with dwarves? Or is it like, does he feel some sort of urgency that he like has to get in there before anyone else does? And I think it's like, how much is it like I'm locking eyes with him, and like how much is he keeping his eyes locked with me, and how much is he looking at the door and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna say an Ob 1 Elfwise roll.
Cool. I'll take it. We'll start learning Elfwise. It's a good thing to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
Elfwise, all wises are perception based. I'll take a check in it.
So it's Ob 2 because you have to double it. Yep.
Oh, by the way, I figured out this out. I'm putting all my circles rolls in being learned as relationships because it's tracked the same way. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can see when I get new relationships with Segal or Dita.
Right.
Okay, Elf was no modifiers, no Artha. Base ob 1, which it will double. I got it. I got 3 successes.
As you're walking up the tunnel and you see that Kerbika and the elf are very particular about where they put their feet and how they move. And it occurs to you that Fiona Cecile put this idea in your son's head. You totally got that right.
Yeah.
But he did it because the adventurer's way of sneaking in is better than the dwarven host's way of barging in.
Mm.
Like he did this because he thought it was the better way to do it.
Okay.
And there was nothing noble about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
it wasn't inherently sinister either.
Right.
It was not
He had a
done to
point.
try and get all the dwarves killed. It wasn't like, haha, I'm gonna take your
No,
dwarves and they're gonna go in there and I'll die and I'm gonna mock them.
it wasn't. It wasn't. He knew that there was no other way around Warden Boge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, that's perfect because he and I are going to go talk to Warden Boge. So, and I'm assuming that he is agreeing to the terms of that Duel of Wits because he was
Yes,
helping
yes,
in
yes,
it,
yes. He
right?
is.
Like
Yeah,
he's sort of
I feel like that's the way it has to work, right? You can't.
right. I don't want to have a separate. Yeah.
I'm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
He's going by it. Yes.
Cool. All right, awesome. Well, should we cut to that, or do you want
Yeah.
to? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I think. I think Boge is up in the fort, right? He
Yeah.
like most of him and his crew are up there,
Yeah.
and
right. They don't need to. They don't need to be down in the actual work site, right?
right, right.
So it's like a little bit of a hike up there, right? It's a
Yeah.
little. It's not a short distance, right? It's half an hour walk maybe to get up the
Yep.
hill.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have a little bit of time to talk on our
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm walking with him, and I said, and I say, you could have told me.
He's humming a song to himself. And I think you know what you know what? No, he's not. He's singing a song. He is singing the ballad of Bina Janos. He is singing that song about Bina. He's singing like a human, uh, this like sad, beautiful human song about um, about this woman Bina Janos from Karakage. That you know what Karakage is, and yeah, he's singing about this woman who traveled on bare feet to end a war.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think like Polara knows Bina, but I think there's a better way for her to learn about her
Yeah,
instead.
yeah,
Or not knows Bina, but like knew who she was. But I think this is way
yeah,
better.
yeah.
I'm like, I like listen. I assume because it's a human song that this is not creating wonderment.
Right. It is not creating wonderment. You are correct.
I was ready for a steel test, but
Yeah.
uh, I I listened to a little bit of it, and when he gets to like a humming part where he drops things, like, and she's like, "Is she the reason we're all up here breaking our backs and spilling our coffee?" And
Were
she's got
you
like this the coffee mug that she was still carrying that's now hanging at her side.
were you with the host when they went south last year?
No, I was brewing nog in my home
Ah,
where I planned to stay.
so you've never met Bina Janos?
I heard about some human coming up with an adventurer, and she sort of looks over her shoulder. She doesn't know it was Korbika, but
Right,
that's I think
right.
what she heard. Is just
Yeah.
filling Prince
Yeah.
Bulat's head with ideas.
You would like her. You are like her in some ways. Very strong ties to family.
Hmm. Your family is of some report is of some importance as well. I mean,
We have
you're second
Etharkal,
only to the Ethark herself.
Etharkal blood. Yes.
This must be important then. If this must be important if the Ethark would send her own brother. No?
Her consort was like a brother to me.
So it's important to you too.
Hmm.
Well, it's important to me as well. So let me tell you in all honesty, without any duplicity, like I tried to trick my son and his compatriots. If this was important to you, be honest with me and we'll work on this together.
He stops and he says, Pelara of the Weholt clan, I will be honest with you. What I say to you right now is as honest as starlight.
The stars have returned, right?
Yeah.
Right? So Palara looks up, sees the stars above, and she remembers. We sort of flash back to her seeing the star, the consort star, and its brilliance. And I think she looks in his eyes and sees the starlight reflect in them.
Right.
And she's looking at him very, very gravely, very, very seriously.
Warden Boge is going to get many dwarves killed when we tell him of this tunnel.
Very possible.
Your son and his adventurer friend, they people might die. People die in adventurers, but it is far safer than what Warden Boge will bring about.
People do die in adventures. People sometimes die in excavations too, but the numbers are much better because we take security precautions, because we double up our protections, because we triple check everything on the way, because we always have someone watching your back, because we go with a whole team and not a group of miscreants in the night. Boge has put me in charge of this, and we're going to do it my way. I told him I'd get him some damn treasure because I know that's what he cares about. I believe that as well. But I'm not leading this excavation for nothing. And if he refuses, I'm gonna cave that passage in, and he can pull the rocks out himself with his bare hands.
He sucks his teeth, says, let us see.
Perhaps we can still use it. Send one force in one way where the dragon's expecting it, prepared, armed, and send a smaller group that's still well coordinated with everyone else in via the passage that isn't expected. I'm not above being cunning. I dislike dishonesty.
Let us see where your honesty gets you, Madam Pillar. And yeah, I think you walk up, and Boge is alone in that in like the where the main room of the house, and he's like splashing water on his face, and kind of brushing out his beard, and then like I think when you two walk in, he's like putting like one of his braids and then the other braid in, and putting like silver clasps on them.
Nice.
Says, sounds like from what the engineers tell me, you're going ahead of schedule, ahead of what they thought.
Mm,
We'll be in the vault in no time.
great.
Congratulations.
Thank you, cousin. Uh,
And I think like he's surprised to see you and Fiona here together.
oh
Like
yeah, we are
that's
unlikely companions for
that's
sure.
weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna let him sit with that for a little bit. Let him like kind of look at me and raise his eyebrows maybe, and I say, yes, you're well informed. Um, Dita is invaluable. She knows these. She knows these tunnels well. She knows the vault well, and we have good dwarves with strong backs.
I think he like claps your shoulder and like moves, like looks at some rosters and says, what can I help you with today? What brings you up to the fort?
I want to keep you appraised of a new development. Our guest is Fiona still the only elf that's on the expedition?
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah. Our guest has found something, which I'm calling him our guest,
Yeah.
like he's coming at the goodwill of Prince Bulat, right? Like he is
Yeah.
not equal parts in this, right?
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Our guest has found something that could be useful to us, but I want to.
He laughs at the idea of an elf finding something in a tunnel, right? He's just
Yeah,
like,
right. There's something comical about it. I agree.
was there a flower growing in the tunnel? What did he find?
Uh, he found us when Dita is it known? It's not known that Dita was the one who
No, it's
no. Okay,
not.
so I'm not going to bring her up then. I
Yeah.
say an old passage, an old tunnel that intersected with our excavation.
Really?
It's small. It's small, not enough to get our team through. Excavating it as well would be it's small and unstable, because I'm gonna just assume that if Dita did this in a quick work, that
Right.
she wasn't going for the kind of
Right.
sturdiness, right? And that
Yeah.
was a while ago, right? That was a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. So
Yeah.
it's small, it's unstable, and it's and yeah, and but it leads to it connects to the vault itself. Now, as the leader of this expedition, and I kind of pause on that for a moment, or leader of this excavation, not expedition, you know, as leader of this excavation, I think there could be some tactical merit to um, perhaps careful scouting or the use of a pincer to since whatever's on the other side of our tunneling has certainly hurt us coming along the way. We might have a strong frontal force, but we might be able to reinforce that with ancillary forces that are not detected as long as they're well protected and well guarded in coming through. I'm trying very hard to steer this in the way of like, we could use this to our advantage, but only as a supplementary thing. We're not
Right.
abandoning the main tunnel. And she's talking in a lot of like, pseudo engineering terms. She's using a lot of like, she's bringing in a lot of the considerations about digging, which he may not be an expert in, but he's going to be familiar with as a dwarf. Like he's heard all of these things before. He's heard of all of these like structural supports and all that stuff. He knows that because he runs all these people.
Plara, it sounds like you're trying to come up with a strategy for the host. I don't understand what it is you're doing here.
I'm trying to frame the opportunity that we have in a constructive manner.
Uh-huh.
It'll be constructive if we use it to supplement my digging team. It will be destructive if we try to take a shortcut. And I say that to him like, we've got history. I know you do this all the time. I know you take shortcuts. You're my cousin. So I'm not calling him out on anything in particular, but there's definitely like a don't do your normal shit tone that, maybe he catches, maybe
Yeah.
Fiona catches, but he definitely knows I'm talking about, his shortcuts.
He says, let us put a spike in that and come back to it. Honored guest, how did you find this tunnel? And Fiona shrugs and says, history. I know my history. Mm-hmm. Where does it lead? And I think like Fiona like looks at you like, should I tell him where it leads?
Oh, this is a really good question, because I think if he tells the truth.
And I think like the way it's set up, right, is he like turned his back on you and looked to Fiona.
Yeah.
And like he says, where does it lead? And Fiona like is like sitting and he kind of like glances at you in a way that Boge wouldn't be able to see. And as if to like say,
Wow.
what do you think?
So here's an ethical dilemma, friends. Pilara has all been about honesty, but she totally knows Boge well. Fiona is not wrong about what Boge will do if he has this information. She has been downplaying the significance of this passage to Boge up until now. So, wow. Do I stick to my guns and say, or do I stick to a rigorous understanding of honesty, where I say, nope, we're going to tell him everything and we're going to hope that he makes the right decision? And do I put faith in a greedy leader? Or do I trust this elf who I think might kill me in my sleep at any given time for a whim, just from what I've heard? Yeah, what do my beliefs or instincts say? Thank you,
I
Sankar.
was supposed to be retired from delving, but here we opportunity to join the host after this. I trust Fiona Cecile as far as he can throw me. I'll find out his motivation for being on this yearning. I swear by the burning wheel, I keep my son here, though, becoming an adventurer. Oath to Warden Boge that I will bring him back a piece of the dragon's treasure. When entering a shaft, start by making it ventilated so he can breathe. When serving Nog, always tell the story. When Fiona Cecile enters the room, watch him. Always get a twinge in the head from impending danger. Yeah, I think you definitely get a twinge in the head from impending danger in this episode.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think my beliefs say don't trust Fiona and serve my oath to Warden Boge. But you can serve an oath in a lot of different ways.
That is true.
I told him I would bring him back a piece of dragon treasure. I did not say. It sounds to me like you can't trust the elf. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right, Sankard. I don't think I can trust him. So where do I weave that?
So what do? Do you like start talking over him? Do you interrupt him? Do you tell him like? Do you
Yeah,
give him?
I think that's perfect, because I was thinking of like giving him the nod, or giving him like the yeah, go for it, or no, don't do it nod. And I think there's like Pilara is trying to figure out what to signal to him, and she says, just because they've sung story, she gets up and she says, just because they've sung stories about grand adventures doesn't mean they know how we built our halls. This is a this is a this is a side shaft, a passage that that will be useful to us, but it's not a shortcut. It's not. It's not what you're after. And yeah,
Is that
she goes on.
Is that a lie?
I think so. I think I'm just lying on. I think I'm just lying on, and so I'm not asking the elf to lie, because for some reason it
Yeah.
feels better to do it myself. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I think we need to make a
A
falsehood roll.
falsehood test. Yep. I'm no good at it, but that's okay.
The ob is 5.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Yep. I don't have it. And I'm not even gonna ask Fiona Cecile for help because I'm getting myself into this rut. What's my consequence of failure? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that he doesn't believe me, but I don't know.
I think
Lie before the elves can. Yep.
I think if you fail, he demands to be shown it right now.
Okay. Cool.
He says, like, enough of this wordplay, of this, yeah, of these immortal games. I'd show it to me right now, I think is what will happen.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
Now there's your beliefs.
Yeah.
I think you found out his motivation for being on this yearning. So I think you've got a persona if you want it. And if you want to spend that to throw some greed into your role to keep this hidden, I think that there is a case for that.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it out of greed.
I know. I'm just saying.
You're just saying. You're just trying to let me advance my B5 greed skill a little more.
Just saying. It's a thing.
What's the? Do you have the page where it talks about greed and how you can spend it? I wanted to go over the things you can spend greed on.
Yeah. A single persona point can be spent to tap the burning fires of greed. It can be spent on any test where the character is creating, acquiring, or attempting to retain a thing of beauty, wealth, power, craftsmanship. I mean, it could be argued that by keeping that tunnel secret, you have a line to the dragon's hoard that no one else has, right?
Yeah.
It's a stretch, but I
appreciate it, and I will definitely We'll definitely get persona on accomplishing that goal.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to spend on this.
Cool. Awesome.
It's yeah.
Sounds good. So ob 5, double the stem.
Yep. Wow, I got a lot of successes. I got 5 successes, which would have done if I had it trained.
Yep.
It is a difficult test, so I don't get a falsehood test. I get a will test instead.
Okay.
And I have no fate, but thanks, thank God. Oh, that makes sense. I was trying to find my mug forever, and Karen just found it in the microwave.
Nice.
Which is where I left it from reheating tea.
That makes sense. I think he like throws on his jacket and says, and like puts his axe on his back and says, "Show me this tunnel now. I am done with this. This is talk unbefitting stone. Paper talk. Come."
All right, let's go.
You are in charge of the excavation, Talara, and I would have no one else in charge of it. None. But I am in charge of this yearning. Come, take me.
And she looks to Fiona like, "You gonna come too?"
So Fiona like shrugs, like, that's the way it went, and he falls in beside the two of you. I think it's like Boge in the middle, and then you on the right, and Fiona on the left.
Do we do we want to wrap it here as we go in, or do we want to jump right into the duel of wits that I know we're invariably gonna have?
I think we wrap it here. I think we wrap it here on the way in. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, this didn't go the way Pellara wanted, but you know, I'm Sean. I'm interested in this. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I feel like we know who Boge is because of his reputation, but
Yeah.
like I'm giving Boge the chance to earn his reputation in play in a lot of ways. Like and Pellara is as well. Like she is legitimately saying like, I'm giving you a chance to do the right thing, and I want you to step up. And I don't expect he will,
Yeah.
but he can't do the right thing unless he's given the chance to. So
Right.
you can't resist greed unless you're tempted with it. So
Yeah.
and I will be very happy to be very adamant about him doing the right thing as needed. But yeah, that's wow, very cool. Judd, I love playing these games with you.
Awesome.
I was like, how will this ever match Bina the Shoeless Peasant? And already we've unearthed this amazing thing and found this vault and had these. Yeah, great. Let's do beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be retired from delving, but here we go, yearning. I'll make sure Bella has an opportunity to join the host after this. I think I've been working at that. This whole deal is towards. I feel like this is going to be a very fate heavy belief unless I refine it more, which I might.
Yep.
I might change the last part of it, but
cool.
Just Fiona Sills part was like, if you can throw me, I'll find it as motivation. Yay! And I know what he wants.
Yeah.
And it's not for us not. I swear by the burning wheel, I'll keep my son Hertho from becoming an adventurer. I definitely feel like I got a fade on that. Like
totally.
I was like,
totally.
No, we're not doing this nonsense.
Totally.
Oath Warden Boge that I will bring him back a piece of the dragon's treasure. No, I don't think I really worked on it. I mean, I kind of resisted it, honestly.
Yeah.
I haven't broken it, but I've been trying to push it back.
Right.
When entering a shaft, start by making sure it's ventilated so we can breathe. I'm sure I did that as part of the excavation, but it didn't.
Right, but
it wasn't interesting.
It wasn't a thing. Yeah.
When serving Nog, always tell the story of its brewing. I did get to tell a fun story to chat, but it didn't come up in play.
Right. Yep.
When Fiona Cecile enters the room, watches every move, I do think that changed play. I think like,
I think there's a fate for that. Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever I need to do this.
Yep, I dig that.
Always get a tinge before ahead of impending danger. I mean, you told me, but I like that didn't change I didn't see that and go like, oh, now I know I should act, you know.
Right.
I was
right.
I knew I could read that, right? Like I knew.
Yeah.
So
cool.
All right, traits. There's a bunch of them. I think I just want to fate for folksy wisdom for that conversation with Dita. I feel like that was like what I did, you know.
It was as the kids say, folksy AF. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I want one more for oaths where because I basically shamed my son with that.
Oh,
like
nice.
Like
yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, totally.
Happens. Yeah,
totally.
Cool. All right, so that is okay, and then the other ones. Embodiment,
Moldbreaker, Workhorse, MVP. I feel like Moldbreaker maybe, which is weird because we don't really have a good idea of who she is.
Yeah.
But I feel like not going into the Dragon Sword where there's all this treasure, when you're sworn to do that, to like, you know, push your daughter where she wants to go.
Yeah. Well, and frankly trusting an elf that I don't know over my cousin Boge. Like that Dalting, I loved it. Yeah. I like that. I'd like to push for one more, which is I think I should get Workhorse because like I literally pulled the engineer and
that's true.
I circled up I brought everyone together to do this huge task, right?
I don't usually give. I feel like that's a really good case for work. I don't usually see Workhorse in one GM one player games, but I feel like you definitely.
It just feels like in this particular session, I won't.
In this particular session, totally. No. I think you always should ask for it. I mean, not ask because you're not asking for it. You're like making a case because we're not. I mean, this is a a non-hierarchical discussion when we're talking about Artha. It's not like I'm bestowing it upon you.
Right.
It's that we're talking about whether or not you earned it.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think two persona, one for Moldbreaker, one for Workhorse, totally makes sense.
Yeah. So perfect. So I'm taking a total of 3 persona from those two and from my belief,
Yeah,
and 5 fate,
awesome.
3 from uh so yeah,
Sounds
now
good.
I can throw all sorts of greed dice that'll never come back to bite me.
Awesome.
There's a really fun story the event in the what's the codex? What's the blue book called? The Adventure
Yeah, the
Burner.
Codex.
Yeah,
Oh, the Adventure Burner. Yeah, yeah.
no. Yeah. Anyway, there's a really fun story in there about Dwarven greed. I was just reading today.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
It's funny. I ran an Ars Magica game in college because I loved Ars Magica and I loved the magic system. But we ran it. We called it Ars AD&Diaca because it was like I just basically ran D&D with Ars Magica because I liked it.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
there
magic
was
system is so cool.
yeah,
It's
and
worth destroying.
my friend made a dwarf, and there's a scene where he was like got offered this magical sword, and then like years later, I was like, oh, I wish I had the greed mechanics for that scene. Like I I was I was looking for it and I just didn't have it. So anyway, cool stuff. Yeah, I liked getting to know Polara and her kids. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I super dug getting to know her myself because I had some concept of her, but
Yeah,
things timed out. I'm very glad all of my relationships came up in this first game. They all and
yeah,
all the NPCs that I cared about were featured in this game. So
yeah,
that was really fun.
yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna sign off now, so we'll do our normal. We'll do this thing. I'm Sean. I use he/him pronouns. You can find me at Sean Nittner. I am streaming like a bandito these days. It's kind of like 1 week off, 1 week all the games. So last night we played Stars Without Number. Tonight we played Burning Wheel. Tomorrow I'm not there, but Judd will be playing Thief and the Necromancer.
Yeah.
Sunday we've got a double feature of Scum and Villainy and Balak Bayan. So stay on the stream if you are excited about those games. We'll be doing tons more. I got word. Well, not really new word, but it looks like Agon is still on track to come out in October. So I'm waiting very impatiently for that. Hopefully, the game we wrote with John can be in people's hands. Yeah, I'm excited about that. How about you, Jed?
My name is Jed, he, him, and you can find more about the stuff I do at a blog called Githyanki Diaspora. And if you can't remember that, you can always find me at Daydreaming About Dragons, which is my podcast where I talk about gaming. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I will be back tomorrow night to play the Thief and the Necromancer with Strosh and Luke and Lauren, who I think might be in chat. Lauren, that is. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So please come join us again.
Yeah, that game. I've heard so
And
many
I'm
good
looking
things.
forward. I'm looking forward to Aegon. That's our like Sunday brunch game that we've been playing. So
oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Two groups, like I'm playing that with my wife and some neighbors, and then another neighbor is playing a game of it, and they're about to play their last game. Like they've been playing about a couple months longer than we have, and they've been a little more consistent. And so they all like got through the star map and like got home, and they turned to the GM and they're like, "No, we're not going home.
Yeah.
We're deposing Zeus."
Wow.
So like their next game is they're doing the last island of Olympus, and they're going to like depose Zeus and put Hyperion on the throne.
Oh, it's so good.
And yeah, it's just
it will be some time before it's out, but I have a slight teaser that I probably shouldn't make, but you're inadvertently or unintentionally goading me into it. Maybe not deposing Zeus, but the heroes who decide to not go home but instead look skyward, like onto the stars, will have a stories to be told.
Oh, nice.
As well. John and I are working on a supplement.
Oh my
idea. So
that is exciting.
Yeah,
cool.
It's pretty. I want to talk about it, but it's way too early, so I'm not going.
That sounds awesome.
There's another thing that's really cool, and I'm sorry I didn't do this in my outro, but I'm just going to add it on. We are converting all of the the completed seasons of actual play into podcast format. So you can now go to anchor.fm/actual play, and you can download book one, almost all of book one. It's the last episode will come out next Friday. I think I'm releasing one a day because they're already recorded. All I'm doing is adding a little commentary. But I have to say, yeah, Lady Agon Bird. I mean, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about, Saint Card. All of the episodes we're releasing in podcast form, and I'm adding a little commentary at the beginning, at the end, just to kind of, I don't know. Judd and I have talked so much about these games, and I just kind of want to add a little, my thoughts on them before and after the game. And then after the last session, so August 1st, Saturday, August 1st, I'm going to be releasing a special podcast only episode that's Judd and I talking about the game, like the us just getting together for 45 minutes in Gavin and talking about what we loved about it. So
if you want the podcast equivalent of the special edition DVD with commentary track, this is definitely it, and it's cool. It's really nice to it listens well, and the way Sean has broken it up is really nice. So definitely check it out.
Cool. Awesome. All right, with that, we'll say adieu. Thank you all. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.